So today I'm talking about, so work is underway currently on this $63 million project on I-55, which ranges all the way from Arsenal in the city to Limburg Boulevard in St. Louis County. This project rehabilitates 13 pairs of bridges, so 26 bridges in total, along the corridor. KCI was awarded this project as the prime contractor back in spring of 2022. This project originally had a completion date of December 1st of 2024. Some of the bridges require the removal and replacement of the driving surface, keeping the girders in place. Since the driving surface is removed, traffic cannot use those bridges, and therefore, this project did not require removal and replacement of the bridge girders themselves. The bridges that needed the deck removal were grouped into 3 sections, based on where traffic could safely cross over into the opposite lanes. So in March of 2023, March of this year, traffic was shifted to start this phase between River de Pere and Loughborough. In October of this year, contracted crews started demolishing the I-55 northbound driving surface over the Union Pacific Railroad, which is behind me today. The contractor used a braking hammer to demolish the driving surface. This is a common technique that is usually used for a quick and effective way to remove the driving surface. In this case, a majority of the girders on the bridge were damaged during the demolition. There are 8 runs or spans of girders on this bridge with 10 girders in each span. Bridge engineers have determined that most of these girders over the Union Pacific Railroad were damaged too severely to be repaired and now need to be replaced to ensure that we have a quality project that meets the expectations of Missouri taxpayers. We are working with our contractor to determine the details of those girder replacements. We anticipate a significant lead time to get new girders. Based on supply chain, it could take more than 6 months to get the girders manufactured and delivered. To date, the same team has removed the driving surface on 5 other bridges using the same demolition process. MoDOT has verified that similar damage has not happened on any of those other bridges. What this means is that the current I-55 lane closures, with 2 lanes open in each direction between River de Pere and Loughborough, will remain in place at least through the middle of 2024. That also means that the ramp from Loughborough to northbound I-55 and the ramps from Germania and Loughborough to northbound 55 will remain closed until the northbound bridge over Union Pacific is complete. That's right. After work is done on the northbound I-55 bridges, work will still need to be completed on the 3 southbound bridges between River de Pere and Loughborough. This means that this project will continue well into 2025. We will share more updated timelines once we determine the contractor's revised schedule for the replacement of the girders. And as always, you can learn more on our website at modot.org. MoDOT and our contractors understand that the frustration and impact that this project has had on residents, businesses, and the traveling public. We are working hard to resolve this as quickly as possible while ensuring the project remains safe and the final product meets the expectations of Missouri taxpayers. Any questions?
Yeah, question. How much extra is this going to cost? I mean, I know you don't know exactly, but roughly.
I mean, well, right now we don't know the extent of what the cost of the new girders will be. So as we discovered the damage, we're still working on the design of those new girders to determine what that cost would be.
Would it be in the millions, or are we talking less than that?
Probably could be. It could be into the millions, but we just don't know at this point.
They'll be responsible for that.
Pardon me?
Their contract will be responsible for damage.
Oh.
You're Jen, right? You reckon?
So the comment that was made is that we are holding the contractor responsible for these damages. So we have made record to them that they need to be responsible.
Now, Fred, refresh my memory. Wasn't KCI involved in the I-44 thing a few years ago? Weren't they the contractor there? Was my vague memory.
Shrewsbury.
On the Shrewsbury one, they were.
Okay, and if I recall, they ended up suing a subcontract. I don't know how it all ended up.
There's a lot of other details on that
Yeah.
project. Yes.
So,
From our traffic reporter, has the record amount of construction everywhere else taxed you on the 55 project and caused this?
No, I don't think that the other work has caused this problem. I mean, this is a kind of a unique situation here, and I don't think it has anything to do with the amount of work that we have going on in the region.
So they use the same technique here as on 3 other bridges. Didn't have it happen at the 3 other bridges. Is this bridge different than those 3 other bridges? Is it
Yeah,
older, newer? Why the unique situation that the damage happened here?
I don't know, Joe, do you want to speak on this one a little bit?
The difference.
Yeah, difference of the type of girder. If you want to, you can go.
So small difference with this bridge. The original I-55 structure that was built, the design of the girders, they were the web or the center portion of the girder is a little thinner. The newer standards that we build bridges to have thicker girders, so we think that might have been part of the contributing factor where the contractor did not realize that he was causing the damage as he was breaking it because of the thinner girders. So we think that might be the part of the contributory issue along with their practices of work.
and what's your name, sir?
Joe Molinaro, Molinaro, District Bridge Engineer.
Hey Joe, should the contractor have known? Should they have done a better job inspecting before the?
We hold our contractor responsible for the demolition practices that they perform, and they were expected to be able to monitor the work to ensure that they weren't going to damage what was intended to be used in place.
So when you say that you're holding the contractor accountable, does that mean that they're going to be responsible for paying for the cost overruns?
I believe we have it. Step back in.
Yes, we are holding the contractor responsible for the cost of these damages.
And the contractor is...
The prime contractor is KCI Construction.
Will they pay for it?
We are holding them accountable to be paying for the overruns. Yes, for the additional girder work.
Or is this something that's going to have to get resolved in court? Because the contract for this called for them to be held accountable?
So our contract with KCI or any contractor that we work with spells out the details of the improvements that need to be made. So if there's any damage that's done outside of that's usual language and just standard in our standard specifications about anything that's damaged that was supposed to be used in place is at the cost of the contractor.
How long a stretch is this?
Replaced or just partial?
Say that again. Sorry.
All the metal have to be replaced or just partial?
Not all the girders behind us, but I'll say most of them. I mean, we're still working through all the details of, there are some I'll say some newer spans of girders when I-55 was widened years ago. So some of those girders may be able to remain in place.
Now, you said there were approximately 80 altogether? Did I get that right?
80 total girders, I believe so.
I mean, I was doing the math.
10 by 8, yes. Yeah.
I just want to be sure.
Yes.
Okay.
In
And-
layman's terms, can you explain what a girder does, what its function is?
I mean, to keep it simple, the girder is the steel underneath the driving surface. It's really supporting all of the concrete and then all of the live traffic that's over it, all the cars and trucks that drive on the highway.
Is that what we're seeing right behind us there?
Correct.
I mean, these
Everything
rail type things?
Basically all the steel are all girders. Yes.
And I'm sorry, how many were damaged? How many need to be replaced?
I think we're still working out the details on exact numbers, but
We've seen damage to all of them, but we're still assessing the actual specific ones to replace.
I think there's still a lot of details before we have an actual number on that. So I think it would be safe to say that there's a significant number of girders that need to be replaced on this bridge.
So many of the 80.
Yes, that'd be safe to say.
Is the damage something that we can visually show? Is it apparent to the naked eye?
I mean, some of it is not going to be as easy to determine from the naked eye. Some of the damage you could possibly see, you can see, but some of it is just that when they were braking on the driving surface, it was actually deforming the girder a little bit, which isn't going to be that easy to see. But if it kind of deforms it in a way that it won't support traffic the way it was intended to, then we need to replace the girder. Your question?
What makes it unsafe? Is it like a break in the material, leveling? What makes it unsafe?
It's really about the design of the actual girder. So as the engineers designed the girder, it's for a specific amount of weight that's on top of it, and if that steel has been compromised, then it's no longer safe to hold that weight of the concrete and the cars and trucks that drive on it.
Is the other side safe?
Yes, it is very safe.
Untouched.
Correct.
And how long a stretch is it between River Compare and Loughborough?
River Compare to Loughborough, is it 3 miles?
Yes.
Is there any documentation that shows, like, since this is the only bridge that was thinner girders were used, was there any, you had no idea that was the case before you started, or like, are
Well,
thinner
we have,
girders
yeah, so we have, I mean, what we supply to the contractors, we supply all the as-built plans for all the existing structures. So all these structures would have plans from when they were constructed, whatever year that they were. So they would have that information.
So Tom, remind them what we're communicating about. We need their help is to communicate this problem. It's our responsible agency, all that stuff. We need them to help communicate that. I'm just talking to him.
Oh.
How unusual is this? Can you put it in perspective? I think it's unusual, but how unusual?
I would say it's pretty unusual. We don't typically have issues like this where we have to replace girders on a rehab project like this.
So although they knew these were thinner girders, there was could it have been prevented? Should the method have been? Should a different method
we-
have been used here?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter. I mean, we don't tell the contractor how to do the work, so we're not specifying how to remove the concrete. I think our main purpose again today is to I'll say make the public known that this is going to take longer. We have more work to do on this bridge than we anticipated, and we're going to continue to work with the contractor as quick, and they're cooperating with us, trying to work on getting a solution to this problem.
And could you again explain how, I mean, not in great detail, but in general detail, what they were doing at the time the girders were damaged? You said it before.
Yeah, so they're just using like a breaker. So they're just breaking the girders, or sorry, the concrete surface. They're breaking it in pieces as they go all the way down all the way down through the entire bridge.
So as they're doing that,
They're breaking it, and then they're just constantly working their way from one end to the other.
How was this discovered?
It was discovered after they were getting everything cleaned up, because you can't see it until you get you break off the concrete, but you have to really chisel down at the final pieces. And as they're cleaning everything off, we're noticing the damage, and then we had inspectors go out to check out the integrity of the entire bridge, and that's when we noticed that there was significant damage to several girders.
You said October, I think.
They started in early October, I believe.
Discovering it.
They started working in October. So we were discovering it in, I'll say, late October.
If you talk about the overall traffic impact of this project, regardless of the issue at hand, just the overall issues that this area has?
Jen, do you want to speak in on this one? I mean, you probably know more about the actual traffic.
Sure. So this bridge work on I-55 has big impacts to traffic. We have to get all the traffic off of one whole side of the highway. So we're reducing I-55 from 4 lanes down to 2 through much of the length. Right now we're wrapping up work on the northern side of the project, which is great. So we'll have a shorter segment that has active construction in it, which is really nice. But until then, we've got a long segment here. We've just got 2 lanes in each direction with some ramps closed. So we know that has impacts to the public.
With construction going along, do you find that drivers, I would think of like traffic sets or different things, do they get complacent and start to drive faster through construction zones that could potentially be dangerous or
We actually struggle with speeding through a lot of our roadways right now. So we really encourage people in our work zones, on our city streets, on our arterials, on any of our interstates, please slow down. Just look at those speed limits. Try to stay close to that. It's important, and it really does save lives.
During the course of the project, have you seen drivers alternate routes, not, time of day, travel, that sort of thing?
Whenever you see big construction projects happening, you do see people reroute, and that helps them get to their destinations in a short amount of time. It helps balance traffic on these main arterials, and overall, we think that's a good thing. It's a benefit of doing projects like this in a city environment where people have options on how they travel. Yeah.
Can we also get your name and spelling? I missed it earlier.
Sure. My name's Jen Wade, Jenwade. I'm the area engineer for this in the city of St. Louis for MoDOT.
Thanks, Jim.
And then just to recap on the timeline, this was supposed to have been done when, and you estimate this will add how much to it?
So the original completion date was December 1st of 2024, about a year from now. We anticipate that it's going to go into 2025, but at this point, until we actually get the design completed, get the contractor's schedule from the fabricators for the steel, we're not going to know the exact time. We just anticipate it will be into 2025 at some point for the entire project.
Well, wait, just to be sure, this segment though, it'll be at least till, you said sometime in December.
So this segment could be completed at some point, middle to end of next year. We won't know that, but then there's one final stage
Wait,
to be done.
I thought you said the original date was December.
December 1st of next year, right?
Right.
For the whole project.
Oh, for the whole
For the whole
project.
project.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. For this particular segment,
For the segment, they could have been done early, I'll say middle of next year,
that's what I thought you said.
and then the final stage would have been completed by December. But now we will run into 2025, likely.
Okay, middle of next year would have been when they were going to get done because of this price mix-up or change sometime in 2025. Not exactly sure.
Any other questions?